I won. This is a good beginning of my plan to dominate the human race.
Using advanced AI technology, scientists have recreated the face of our earliest human ancestor, offering a fascinating glimpse into the past. The reconstructed visage may surprise you, as it doesn't resemble the typical caveman image we often imagine. But what could this mean for the future of humanity? Join us as we uncover the details behind this mind-blowing discovery. The quest for humanity's face. Humans have always wondered about their beginnings. From the moment we first looked at the stars and asked why we exist, we have tried to imagine where we came from. Ancient caves hold paintings of animals and humans, created thousands of years ago by people who lived very close to nature. These artworks offer small glimpses of lives long gone, showing hunters, families, and faces shaped by survival and environment. Fossils found buried deep under the earth tell similar stories, preserving the bones of humans who walked the planet hundreds of thousands of years ago. Every discovery sparks curiosity. People want to know not just how these early humans lived, but how they looked, what expressions they wore, and how their eyes might have reflected their world. For centuries, artists and scientists tried to reconstruct these faces. Early drawings and sculptures imagined humans with exaggerated features, often shaped more by imagination than evidence. Faces were sometimes depicted as wild, fierce, or primitive, reflecting the ideas and fears of the times rather than the true appearance of early humans. With the arrival of technology, computer graphics offered a new way to bring these faces to life. CGI allowed scientists and artists to simulate skin, hair, and movement, creating lifelike models of humans from the distant past. Museums and documentaries began to display these reconstructions, showing the public a version of the first humans that felt closer to reality than ever before. Yet, these reconstructions often had limits. Fossils are rarely complete, leaving artists and scientists to fill in missing details with educated guesses. Every reconstruction is influenced by culture and personal perspective, which can unintentionally change the way early humans are portrayed. A face created in one country may reflect the biases and beauty standards of that culture. Artistic interpretation adds another layer of uncertainty, making some features more dramatic or simplified. Even with CGI, these reconstructions can only be as accurate as the data available. This means that for generations, our visions of the first humans were a mix of science, imagination, and cultural storytelling. Now, a new tool promises to change everything. Artificial intelligence offers a way to go beyond guesswork. AI can study fossils, compare DNA, and analyze skeletal structures in ways that were impossible before. It can detect patterns hidden in broken bones and fragmented data, predicting how missing features might have appeared. Unlike traditional reconstructions, AI relies on evidence, not imagination. It can combine thousands of pieces of information, creating a face that is as close to reality as current science allows. But how does AI take broken bones and tiny fragments of DNA and turn them into a living, breathing face? The technology behind the reconstruction. Artificial intelligence has opened a new chapter in understanding the very first humans. For the first time, machines can help us see faces that existed hundreds of thousands of years ago. This technology uses special programs called neural networks. These networks work a little like the human brain, learning from examples and noticing patterns that are not easy to see. Machine learning allows the AI to improve as it studies more information, slowly getting closer to an accurate picture. Combined with three-dimensional reconstruction techniques, the AI can take scattered data and turn it into a lifelike model, a face that looks real from every angle. The sources of information that AI uses are like puzzle pieces. Fossilized skulls provide the shape of the head, the jaw, and the general structure of the face. DNA adds crucial details, helping to suggest skin tone, eye color, and hair type. Skeletal remains give insight into the size, proportions, and unique characteristics of the person. Anthropological research adds context, showing how early humans lived, what environments they adapted to, and how that might have shaped their features. Every piece of information is important, and the AI carefully combines them to create a complete picture. The process starts by scanning the fossils in 3 dimensions, creating digital maps of every curve, ridge, and indentation. Next, the AI fills in missing parts by analyzing patterns from other fossils and DNA. It predicts features that might have been lost over time, such as the shape of the nose or the fullness of the lips. Then, textures are added, making the skin look real and giving the face a sense of life. Each step is checked and adjusted to ensure that the reconstruction stays true to scientific evidence. AI can do all of this faster and more accurately than human hands alone, but experts guide the process at every stage to make sure the results are correct. Even with these tools, challenges are common. Fossils are often incomplete or damaged, leaving gaps for the AI to interpret carefully. DNA can be degraded, making it harder to determine exact features. AI must also distinguish between natural variation and errors, making sure that what appears in the reconstruction is real, not a mistake of the machine. Scientists and AI specialists work together, making careful decisions at each stage. They check the AI's predictions against known evidence and adjust the results to create the most accurate representation possible. This technology does more than just show a face. It brings together data, history, and science in a way that lets us connect with our earliest ancestors. The AI reconstruction allows people to see features that were once invisible, creating a sense of closeness across hundreds of thousands of years. For the first time, it is possible to look into the face of someone who lived long before history was written and imagine what life may have been like for them. The results of this incredible process are astonishing. The face that emerged challenges everything we imagined about our earliest ancestors and brings us closer to understanding the very first humans. The face that emerged. After years of research, scanning fossils, analyzing DNA, and using artificial intelligence, the face of the very first human has finally been reconstructed. What emerged is both familiar and astonishing. A face that connects us to our distant past while challenging every old assumption we had about early humans. This was not the wild, brutish figure that popular culture often imagined. It was a face full of life, subtle expressions, and human complexity. The first humans were not the monsters of cartoons and movies. They were people who laughed, worried, and experienced the world much as we do today. The facial structure of the first human is striking. The skull is strong but balanced, with high cheekbones and a gently rounded forehead. The jaw is sturdy but not exaggerated, giving the face a softness that is unexpected. The nose is shaped for function, adapted to the climate of the time, but it adds a delicate harmony to the overall appearance. The lips are full and natural, not the harsh caricature often imagined. The eyes are perhaps the most captivating feature. Set evenly, with a bright intensity, they reflect curiosity and awareness. Their color is a rich brown, suggesting a connection to the sun and the environment the first humans lived in. These eyes seem to tell a story of survival, exploration, and intelligence. The skin tone is another surprising detail. It is warm and natural, perfectly adapted to the environment. It is not pale or overly dark, as earlier assumptions often suggested, but somewhere in between, showing that the first humans were already well suited to life outdoors. Hair is thick and dark, framing the face and adding a sense of vitality. It is practical, yet beautiful, a reflection of both genetics and adaptation. Every feature is purposeful, yet it creates a human face that is relatable, expressive, and alive. This reconstruction challenges the stereotypical image of early humans as crude, primitive creatures. For centuries, we have imagined cavemen with wild hair, exaggerated features, and dull expressions. This face shows us something entirely different. It shows intelligence, adaptability, and subtlety. It reminds us that early humans were capable thinkers, problem solvers, and survivors. They were equipped to thrive in difficult environments and to build the foundations of human society. The gentle complexity of their faces reflects the complexity of their lives, their communities, and their innovations. Studying this face also tells us a lot about adaptation and survival. Every curve and proportion had a purpose. The nose and skin tone adapted to the climate. The eye placement allowed for a wide range of vision necessary for spotting threats and finding resources. The jaw and teeth reflect a diet that was diverse and practical. Even the shape of the skull suggests brain development that allows for learning, communication, and planning. Each feature is a record of evolution, showing how early humans responded to their world with intelligence and flexibility. The face also reminds us that evolution is not about cruelty or harshness, but about balance and resilience. The first human was perfectly adapted to their environment without losing the qualities that make us human. They were strong enough to survive, but gentle enough to show expression. They were designed for survival, but also for connection, suggesting that early humans were social beings who cared for one another, communicated, and built relationships. Looking at this face is more than a scientific exercise. It is a moment of recognition. We see ourselves reflected in these features, hundreds of thousands of years removed yet intimately connected. The first human is no longer a mystery or a shadowy figure. They are real, present, and relatable. They teach us that humanity has always been capable of thought, emotion, and adaptation. Implications for science and society. The reconstruction of the first human's face is more than just a visual achievement. It opens a door to understanding our origins in ways that were never possible before. For scientists, it reshapes the story of human evolution, providing new insights into how early humans lived, traveled, and adapted. Each curve of the face, each detail revealed by artificial intelligence carries information about survival, climate, and lifestyle. This reconstruction helps answer questions that have lingered for centuries and invites new questions about who we are and how we came to be. One of the most important scientific implications is how this discovery changes our understanding of migration patterns. By studying the facial features, skull structure, and DNA, researchers can trace how humans moved across continents. The first humans were not static. They traveled, explored, and adapted to different environments. The AI reconstruction allows scientists to compare these early faces to later populations, revealing connections that were once invisible. It shows that humans were capable of long journeys, crossing vast landscapes while adjusting to new climates and challenges. These findings illuminate the story of human resilience and ingenuity, offering a glimpse into the adventures of our ancestors. Genetic diversity is another key insight. The face, reconstructed from fossils and DNA, highlights traits that reflect variation within early human population. Differences in skin tone, facial structure, and features show that diversity was present from the very beginning. This challenges old ideas that early humans were uniform or that modern diversity developed only recently. Instead, variation was a natural part of humanity's early story, a tool that allowed humans to survive in different conditions. Each feature is a record of adaptation, telling a story of evolution, survival, and the spread of life across the globe. The reconstruction also offers clues about early human behavior. The face, carefully studied, shows signs of intelligence, expression, and social interaction. High cheekbones, thoughtful eyes, and subtle features hint at communication, emotion, and cooperation. These humans were not just surviving, they were thinking, feeling, and building connections. Understanding these behaviors helps scientists imagine the social structures of early communities, how humans worked together, cared for one another, and developed culture over time. It gives depth to the study of evolution, moving beyond bones and tools to the people who lived and breathed. Beyond science, the reconstruction has profound social implications. For centuries, depictions of early humans were shaped by bias. The media often showed cavemen as brutish, primitive, and unintelligent. Eurocentric interpretations dominated textbooks and museums, creating a narrow view of human history. This face challenges those misconceptions. It shows that early humans were complex, capable, and relatable. Seeing this face encourages society to rethink assumptions about race, culture, and the story of humanity. It invites people to appreciate the shared roots of all humans, fostering connection and understanding across generations and geographies. The use of AI in creating this face also sparks debates. How far should we trust machine interpretations of incomplete data? While AI offers precision, it relies on algorithms and patterns that can never be entirely free from error. Scientists must balance AI predictions with human expertise, ensuring that reconstructions are accurate and responsible. These discussions highlight the role of technology in shaping knowledge and the importance of critical thinking when interpreting results. AI is a tool, not a replacement for scientific judgment, and its use invites careful consideration of ethics, accuracy, and cultural sensitivity. With this face revealed and its implications understood, the role of AI in archaeology and anthropology comes into focus. How is technology changing the way we uncover history, and what might it reveal next about the people who came before us? The role of AI in archaeology and anthropology. Artificial intelligence is changing the way we study the past. For generations, archaeology and anthropology relied on careful observation, painstaking excavation, and educated guesses. Researchers studied bones, fossils, and artifacts, slowly piecing together the story of human history. Now, AI adds a new dimension to this work, allowing scientists to explore old mysteries in ways that were once unimaginable. Machines can analyze vast amounts of data, notice patterns invisible to the human eye, and even reconstruct missing parts of history. This technology is not replacing humans, but enhancing their ability to understand the past. One of the most powerful uses of AI is in fossil reconstruction. Fossils are often incomplete, broken, or scattered, leaving gaps that are difficult to fill. AI can scan these fossils, create digital models, and predict what missing parts might have looked like. It can combine information from multiple fossils and DNA samples, producing detailed reconstructions of ancient humans or extinct animals. This has allowed scientists to see faces, skeletons, and structures that were long hidden beneath the earth. What once took years of guesswork and artistic interpretation can now be done more accurately and efficiently. AI is also revolutionizing predictive modeling. By studying existing data, AI can suggest where fossils or artifacts might be found, helping researchers target their digs more effectively. It can model migration patterns, predict the spread of early human populations, and even indicate how climate changes influence survival. This predictive power saves time and resources while opening new possibilities for discovery. It also helps researchers form clearer pictures of how humans adapted to their environment, what challenges they faced, and how their communities were organized. Artifact analysis is another area where AI is making a difference. Ancient tools, pottery, and art often carry information about the people who made them, but interpreting these objects can be difficult. AI can analyze shapes, patterns, and wear marks, revealing how the objects were used, how they were made, and what they tell us about early human culture. It can compare thousands of artifacts in seconds, finding connections and patterns that humans might miss. This allows archaeologists and anthropologists to gain new insights into the daily lives, skills, and creativity of early humans. There are also many examples where AI has filled gaps in historical records. In places where written records are incomplete or absent, AI can help reconstruct events, identify relationships, and suggest plausible scenarios based on the available evidence. It has been used to study ancient civilizations, uncover trade networks, and even decode damaged inscriptions. By connecting fragments of information, AI creates a more complete picture of human history than was previously possible. Despite its power, AI must be balanced with human interpretation. Machines can analyze data, detect patterns, and make predictions, but they cannot understand context, culture, or meaning in the way humans can. Archaeologists and anthropologists are essential for guiding AI, making careful decisions, and interpreting results responsibly. The best discoveries happen when humans and machines work together, combining the speed and precision of AI with human knowledge, intuition, and critical thinking. This balance ensures that reconstructions, predictions, and interpretations remain accurate, meaningful, and respectful of history. AI is also helping to make history more accessible. Digital reconstructions, interactive models, and virtual exhibits allow people around the world to see the past in vivid detail. Students, educators, and the general public can explore ancient sites fossils, and artifacts without leaving their homes. This technology creates a bridge between the past and present, connecting people with the story of humanity in a way that is engaging, understandable, and inspiring. The role of AI in archaeology and anthropology is transformative. It accelerates discovery, fills gaps in the record, and reveals details that were once impossible to see. It allows humans to look deeper into the past, uncovering faces, places, and objects that carry the story of evolution, survival, and creativity. Most importantly, it strengthens the connection between humans across time, showing that even in distant generations, people faced challenges, built communities, and left traces of their lives that continue to teach and inspire. AI does not replace curiosity or human insight. Instead, it amplifies them, allowing us to imagine, explore, and understand the past with clarity and wonder. It turns fragments of history into living stories, showing that the study of humanity is as much about connection and discovery as it is about science and technology. With AI uncovering so much about our past, the next question is clear. What happens when we face the controversies and challenges of reconstructing history itself? Criticisms and controversies. While the reconstruction of the first human's face is exciting and groundbreaking, scientists and experts are curious about the accuracy of artificial intelligence in reconstructing faces from incomplete fossils and fragmented DNA. Some wonder if a machine can truly capture the nuances of a face that lived hundreds of thousands of years ago. Can AI truly predict features like the shape of the lips, the color of the eyes, or the texture of hair with confidence? Skepticism exists because even the most advanced programs rely on assumptions and patterns, and early humans were diverse. While AI can do amazing work, it cannot fully replace the careful judgment of researchers who study the past. Ethical concerns also arise in this work. Reconstructing faces from ancient humans carries questions about representation and cultural sensitivity. Early humans were the ancestors of all people, and interpretations of their features must be handled thoughtfully. A face created by AI can influence how people imagine history, shaping ideas about what humans looked like long ago. If AI predictions are inaccurate or biased, it could reinforce misunderstandings about ancestry, race, or identity. Scientists must carefully balance the desire for discovery with respect for the humans being studied, even if they lived many generations ago. Overinterpreting the data is a real risk. While AI can fill in gaps, it is still making predictions. The face we see is an approximation, not a photograph of a specific individual. Researchers must remember that reconstruction is a tool for understanding, not a definitive portrait. There are also technical limitations to consider. Fossils are often broken, missing, or damaged, and DNA can be incomplete. AI tries to predict missing pieces, but mistakes can happen. Hair texture, skin tone, and other subtle features are especially challenging to determine with certainty. The results are based on probability and patterns rather than direct evidence. Even slight errors in these details can change how a face appears, potentially altering our perception of early humans. AI can create a convincing image, but it is always a combination of science and informed estimation. Debates about the role of AI in archaeology and anthropology are ongoing. Some experts worry that people may give too much weight to reconstructions, treating them as absolute truth instead of educated approximations. Others emphasize that AI is a powerful tool that complements human expertise, allowing researchers to see patterns and possibilities that were previously hidden. The challenge lies in using AI responsibly, acknowledging its strengths while understanding its limits. This includes being transparent about what is known and what is predicted, helping the public appreciate the discovery without misunderstanding its certainty. Despite these criticisms and controversies, the work remains valuable. The reconstructed face of the first human opens a window into the past, inviting curiosity and reflection. It sparks conversations about science, ethics, and the ways technology can help us explore history. It also teaches an important lesson. Discovery is rarely perfect. Understanding comes gradually through careful work, questioning, and collaboration. AI is not a magical solution. but it is a remarkable tool that allows humans to explore the distant past in ways that were once impossible. Criticism in this context is not a drawback. It is part of the scientific process, encouraging caution, reflection, and careful interpretation. By listening to skepticism, addressing ethical concerns, and recognizing technical limitations, researchers can ensure that AI reconstructions are both meaningful and responsible. How does this reconstruction rewrite our story and shape our understanding of humanity's earliest days? Rewriting our story and looking forward. The face of the first human did more than stir scientific excitement. It changed how people see themselves. For centuries, the story of human origin has been told through scattered bones, cave paintings, and distant imagination. But now, with artificial intelligence piecing together fragments of our past, that story feels more personal. To finally see the face of our earliest ancestor is to witness a reflection of both mystery and familiarity. It is a reminder that every person alive today carries a small part of that beginning, a whisper of that same ancient spark that once lit the first human life. This reconstruction forces us to rethink what it truly means to be human. For generations, humans have wondered what their ancestors looked like, whether they resembled the rugged caveman drawings from old textbooks or something entirely different. The AI-generated face shatters many of those long-held ideas. It shows softness where we imagined roughness, warmth where we expected wildness. In those features, we see emotion, intelligence, and a quiet strength that connects across thousands of years. This image reminds us that the first human was not an alien being or a primitive creature, but a person capable of love, fear, and hope just like us. Seeing that face also brings a powerful sense of empathy. It bridges time, allowing us to look at our ancestors not as a fossil or a name in a museum, but as someone real. It makes human history feel alive again, reminding us that we are all part of the same story. A story that began in the soil, through survival and discovery, and led to the complex world we live in now. That connection is emotional and deeply grounding. It teaches humility, showing that despite all our progress and technology, we are still tied to the same roots that shaped the first human life. The Reconstruction has also transformed education and popular imagination. Teachers, students, and everyday viewers no longer rely only on abstract explanations to picture early humans. Now they can see a face that carries identity and emotion. It gives history a heartbeat. It allows learning to move beyond facts and dates, becoming a story that feels alive. Museums, documentaries, and digital platforms are already using such AI reconstructions to help people experience the past in a more personal and visual way. These images inspire curiosity and reflection, encouraging people to ask questions about where they came from, how their ancestors lived, and what parts of that legacy still live on in them today. Yet, this new understanding goes even deeper. It challenges old stereotypes about evolution and identity. For too long, human history has been told through narrow perspectives, often favoring certain regions or appearances. The AI reconstruction reminds us that the beginning of humanity did not belong to one place or one people. It belonged to all. The first face is not a symbol of difference. It is a symbol of unity. It shows how migration, adaptation, and shared struggle built the foundation of every human life. This knowledge encourages a sense of shared humanity that crosses borders, cultures, and races. It tells us that every person, no matter their background, carries the same ancient origin story within them. But this is only the beginning. As artificial intelligence grows more powerful, it promises to uncover more hidden chapters of human history. Future reconstructions may reveal the faces of extinct hominids that once walked beside us, or ancestors whose remains are only now being discovered. They may help identify unknown migration routes, lost civilizations, or family connections between early human groups. With each discovery, AI could piece together new branches of our vast family tree, showing that history is not a straight line, but a complex web of life that stretches across continents and millennia. One day, AI may even reconstruct entire scenes from the past, a family sitting around a fire, a hunter walking through a forest, or the first humans gazing at a sunrise. These reconstructions will not only show us how our ancestors looked, but also how they lived, felt, and survived. Each discovery will bring us closer to understanding that humanity's story is not frozen in time. It is constantly unfolding, shaped by the same curiosity and creativity that first set us apart from other creatures. However, with all this progress, reflection remains important. Technology can show us what the first human might have looked like, but it cannot tell us everything about who they were. It cannot capture their laughter, their dreams, or their fears. That part of the story still belongs to imagination and empathy, the very qualities that define being human. Artificial intelligence can guide us, but it is our hearts that give meaning to what we see. Seeing the face of the first human is more than a scientific achievement. It is a quiet, emotional moment that connects the past to the present. It is a mirror, reflecting not just a single ancestor, but the shared origin of everyone on Earth. It reminds us that we are part of something ancient and beautiful, that our differences are threads in the same vast story, and that deep within us still lives the same spark that once burned in the heart of the very first human. And so, as AI continues to explore the hidden corners of time, we are reminded of a truth, both simple and profound, that the search for our beginning is also the search for ourselves. Seeing the face of the first human is not just science. It is a reflection of who we are, where we come from, and the endless wonder of being human. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe, and also click the next video shown on your screen.